The desert winds whisper ancient stories, carrying memories of dust and promise. I've heard tales passed down through generations, stories of a man whose faith was tested by time itself, whose hope flickered like a fragile flame against impossible circumstances. Abram's journey begins not with triumph, but with a silent ache, the profound emptiness of unfulfilled dreams. Every night, I can almost feel the weight of his longing. Childless, aging, the promise of descendants seemed more like a cruel joke than a divine revelation. His wife Sarai's eyes, once bright with youthful expectation, now carried the subtle resignation of years of disappointment. How many nights had they spent wondering, hoping, questioning? The barrenness wasn't just about children. It was about purpose, identity, legacy. In a world where inheritance and lineage defined everything, Abram and Sarai existed in a painful liminal space, suspended between promise and reality, between what God had spoken and what their bodies seemed to deny. I understand that kind of waiting, that excruciating tension between faith and doubt, when promises feel more like distant mirages than tangible realities. When each passing year becomes another layer of uncertainty, another opportunity for hope to erode. Abram's story isn't just an ancient narrative, it's a mirror reflecting our deepest human struggles. The struggle of believing when evidence contradicts promise. The internal battle of trusting when circumstances scream impossibility. His journey represents every person who has ever stood at the intersection of divine promise and human limitation. The desert, harsh, unforgiving, expansive, becomes more than a geographical space. It transforms into a metaphorical landscape of spiritual transformation. Here, faith isn't a comfortable concept discussed in safe spaces, but a raw, challenging experience carved through moments of profound uncertainty. What happens when promises seem too grand? When dreams feel beyond reach? When the gap between divine declaration and current reality feels unbridgeable? Abram's narrative doesn't offer simplistic comfort, but presents something far more profound. A complex, nuanced exploration of trust. His story isn't about instant resolution. It's about the journey, the slow, often painful process of alignment between human expectation and divine timing. Each step, each moment of uncertainty, becomes a critical part of a larger, more intricate tapestry of spiritual development. As the ancient winds continue their timeless dance across the desert sands, they carry more than just grains of earth. They carry the whispers of a promise, complex, challenging, transformative. A promise that would reshape not just one man's life, but the trajectory of entire generations. In this moment, standing metaphorically beside Abram, I recognize a universal truth. Our greatest spiritual growth often occurs in our most uncomfortable waiting spaces, where promises seem distant, where hope feels fragile, where faith is less about certainty and more about persistent trust. The journey is just beginning, and everything, absolutely everything, hangs in the delicate balance between human limitation and divine possibility. The weight of anticipation pressed against my chest, a tangible force more suffocating than the stillness surrounding me. Waiting transforms time into an intricate landscape of internal negotiation, where hope battles uncertainty and faith wrestles with pragmatic survival. My perspective shifted when I realized waiting isn't passive. It's an active spiritual discipline that demands extraordinary courage. Each moment becomes a deliberate choice: surrender or control, trust or manipulation. And in this crucible of expectation, our truest character emerges. Psychological research suggests prolonged uncertainty triggers profound neurological responses. Our brains crave resolution, predictability. When divine timelines conflict with human expectations, internal tension becomes almost unbearable. We're wired to solve, to act, to resolve. Yet spiritual growth often requires radical stillness. Consider how strategic patience differs from mere inaction. Authentic waiting involves intentional preparation, internal alignment, continuous refinement of character. It's not about stopping. It's about transforming while remaining open. Like a seed underground, imperceptible growth happens beneath surface circumstances. Professionally and personally, I've witnessed how premature interventions frequently derail intended outcomes. When we rush to manufacture solutions, we often block more sophisticated divine orchestrations. The most elegant resolutions frequently emerge through patient attentiveness, not aggressive manipulation. Neurologically, sustained uncertainty produces cortisol, our stress hormone. Prolonged elevated cortisol levels can trigger adaptive responses that fundamentally reshape our physiological and psychological landscapes. What initially feels like a threat becomes a transformative opportunity for comprehensive internal recalibration. Spiritual maturation demands we develop muscles of restraint, not passive resignation, but dynamic, alert waiting. Imagine a skilled archer, completely focused, bow drawn, awaiting precisely the right moment to release. Such waiting isn't weakness. It represents supreme concentration and strategic wisdom. Contemporary culture valorizes immediate gratification, positioning waiting as a deficiency. Yet indigenous wisdom traditions and contemplative practices consistently reveal waiting's profound generative potential. Here, time becomes an ally, not an adversary, a mysterious collaborator in personal metamorphosis. My invitation: reimagine waiting not as a passive experience, but as an active, transformative spiritual practice. What internal landscapes might emerge if we approached uncertainty with curiosity instead of anxiety? What hidden strengths could surface through patient, attentive presence? Ultimately, waiting becomes less about external circumstances and more about internal calibration. We're not simply waiting for something to happen. We're becoming someone capable of receiving and stewarding what's promised. My breath caught in the stillness, recognizing how profound waiting transforms our interior landscapes. The human heart contains remarkable reservoirs of resilience most never explore, hidden chambers of endurance waiting to be unlocked through intentional surrender. We frequently misunderstand waiting as passive resignation, when it's actually an intricate alchemical process of internal recalibration. Neurological research reveals fascinating insights. Sustained uncertainty triggers complex adaptive mechanisms within our psychological architecture. Our neural pathways literally rewire themselves during prolonged anticipation, creating neurological infrastructure for enhanced emotional intelligence and psychological flexibility. Precisely here, in this liminal space between expectation and fulfillment, something extraordinary happens. We're not merely existing, we're evolving. Each moment of suspended expectation becomes a crucible where character is refined, where theoretical faith transforms into lived conviction. Imagine waiting as an advanced training ground for emotional agility. Like athletes developing muscular resilience through resistance training, we build spiritual stamina through navigating uncertainty. Our internal frameworks become increasingly sophisticated, learning to maintain equilibrium amidst unpredictable circumstances. Professional performance psychologists recognize this phenomenon. Top-tier performers across disciplines, from quantum physicists to championship athletes, share a remarkable capacity for sustained focus during ambiguous scenarios. They've mastered the art of remaining centered when external variables remain undefined. Consider how technological innovations emerge through persistent curiosity during seemingly unproductive intervals. Breakthrough discoveries frequently materialize not through constant motion, but through patient observation, careful reflection, and openness to unexpected insights. Our most profound transformations often occur underneath apparent stillness. Counterintuitively, strategic patience requires immense courage. It demands we relinquish control, trusting larger orchestrations beyond immediate comprehension. This isn't weakness. It represents sophisticated emotional intelligence, a nuanced understanding that meaningful progress transcends linear trajectories. Psychological research demonstrates that individuals who cultivate adaptive waiting strategies experience significantly lower stress levels and higher long-term resilience. They develop robust internal mechanisms for processing uncertainty, viewing challenges as opportunities for personal expansion rather than threats. Critically, authentic waiting isn't about innovators who embrace uncertainty as a generative space consistently produce more revolutionary outcomes. Critically, this approach doesn't advocate passive resignation. Instead, it demands active, alert presence, a dynamic engagement that simultaneously prepares and remains open. We're cultivating sophisticated spiritual muscles capable of navigating complexity with grace and intentionality. Imagine our internal world as a sophisticated ecosystem. Just as natural environments require delicate balance and interconnected systems, our spiritual landscapes thrive through nuanced, holistic approaches. Forcing growth produces artificial, unsustainable outcomes. True transformation requires patient, attentive cultivation. The invitation becomes clear. Can we develop radical trust that transcends immediate circumstances? Can we create internal spaciousness where seemingly impossible promises find room to germinate? Our most profound breakthroughs frequently emerge when we surrender controlling narratives and embrace mysterious, unfolding potentials. The rhythmic pulse of uncertainty beats relentlessly against human vulnerability. My breath catches in the desert stillness, recognizing how divine promises frequently challenge our most calculated expectations. Waiting transforms from a passive experience into an intricate spiritual navigation, a journey where internal landscapes shift beneath surface stillness. Neurological research reveals fascinating insights into our adaptive mechanisms during prolonged anticipation. When confronted with extended periods of unresolved tension, our neural pathways actually reconfigure, developing unprecedented resilience. We're not merely enduring, we're fundamentally rewiring our capacity for transformative trust. Professional resilience experts understand this counterintuitive principle. Breakthrough potential often resides within seemingly unproductive intervals. Like a seed germinating underground, our most significant personal developments happen invisibly, requiring radical receptivity to unfolding mysteries. Quantum perspectives offer illuminating metaphors. Subatomic particles exist simultaneously in multiple potential states, crystallizing only through intentional observation. Similarly, our faith operates as a dynamic field of potentiality, holding complex possibilities beyond immediate perception. Interpersonal dynamics demonstrate this principle magnificently. Relationships characterized by nuanced understanding frequently reveal deeper, transformative power than those demanding immediate resolution. When we suspend reactive impulses, we create spaciousness for more sophisticated understanding to emerge organically. Technological innovation mirrors this intricate process remarkably. Groundbreaking discoveries rarely follow linear progressions, but emerge through unexpected intersections and exploratory patience. Innovators who embrace uncertainty as a generative landscape consistently produce more revolutionary outcomes. Indigenous wisdom traditions have long recognized this sophisticated approach. They understand profound shifts occur beneath perceptible surfaces, like underground river systems slowly reshaping geological landscapes. Transformation happens in the quietest spaces of receptive awareness. Psychological research demonstrates that individuals cultivating adaptive anticipation strategies experience significantly enhanced long-term resilience. They develop robust internal mechanisms for processing complexity, viewing challenges as opportunities for unprecedented personal expansion. Critically, this approach demands active, alert presence, a dynamic engagement simultaneously preparing and remaining fundamentally open. We're developing intricate spiritual musculature capable of navigating sophisticated emotional terrains with unprecedented grace and intentionality. The invitation becomes crystal clear. Can we develop radical trust transcending immediate circumstances? Can we create internal spaciousness where seemingly impossible promises find room to germinate? Our most profound breakthroughs frequently emerge when we surrender controlling narratives and embrace mysterious, unfolding potentials. I've witnessed countless moments where human anticipation collides with divine timing, but few experiences reveal the intricate dance of patience as profoundly as strategic waiting. My professional work in human resilience has consistently demonstrated that our most transformative periods occur during seemingly unproductive intervals. Consider how professional athletes train. They understand that muscle development happens during strategic recovery, not constant exertion. Similarly, spiritual growth requires deliberate periods of receptive stillness. We're not passive observers, but active participants in a complex developmental process. Neurobiological research reveals remarkable insights into adaptive capacity. When confronted with prolonged uncertainty, our neural networks actually reconfigure, creating sophisticated pathways for emotional agility. Individuals who master this skill develop extraordinary psychological flexibility, transforming potential stress into a generative landscape of personal evolution. Imagine our interior emotional terrain as a sophisticated ecosystem. Just as natural environments require delicate balance and interconnected systems, our psychological landscapes thrive through nuanced, holistic approaches. Forcing accelerated growth produces artificial, unsustainable outcomes. Authentic transformation demands patient, attentive cultivation. Professional resilience experts recognize that breakthrough potential frequently resides within moments of apparent stagnation. Like a seed gathering underground energy before remarkable germination, our most significant personal developments happen invisibly. We're constantly preparing, even when external circumstances seem unchanged. Technological innovation provides compelling parallels. Groundbreaking discoveries rarely follow linear progressions, but emerge through unexpected intersections and exploratory patience. Innovators who view uncertainty as a generative landscape consistently produce more revolutionary outcomes. Critically, this approach transcends passive resignation. It demands dynamic, alert presence, and engagement, simultaneously preparing and remaining fundamentally receptive. We're developing intricate psychological musculature capable of navigating complex emotional terrains with unprecedented sophistication. Performance psychology illuminates another crucial dimension. Top-tier professionals across disciplines share a remarkable capacity for maintaining centered focus during ambiguous scenarios. They've mastered the art of internal stability when external variables remain undefined. Interpersonal dynamics reveal additional layers of this principle. Relationships characterized by strategic patience frequently demonstrate deeper resilience than those demanding immediate resolution. When we suspend reactive impulses, we create spaciousness for more profound understanding to unfold organically. The contemporary challenge lies in cultivating this advanced skill. Our cultural narratives frequently valorize constant motion, positioning waiting as a deficiency. Yet, the most sophisticated forms of personal development require us to reimagine waiting not as an action, but as an active, transformative practice of radical trust. Now, consider how this applies when you face seemingly insurmountable challenges. Are you willing to develop the psychological agility required to hold complexity without immediate resolution? Your most significant breakthroughs might be quietly taking shape beneath surface perceptions, waiting for the precise moment of manifestation. I've watched countless individuals navigate life's turbulent landscapes, and one profound truth consistently reveals itself. Authentic transformation often begins in the quietest, most unassuming moments of reflection. My professional experience working with human resilience has taught me that our deepest revelations rarely announce themselves with fanfare. They whisper, almost imperceptibly. Psychological research illuminates an intriguing paradox. Breakthrough moments frequently germinate during periods of perceived stagnation. Think of how crystal formations develop underground, imperceptible to the naked eye, yet manifesting extraordinary complexity. Similarly, our internal emotional terrains undergo radical restructuring when we least expect it. Quantum field theories provide fascinating metaphorical insights into this phenomenon. Potential states exist simultaneously, waiting for precise conditions to crystallize. Our personal development mirrors these subatomic interactions. Complex potentials hover beneath surface awareness, dynamically recalibrating through subtle interactions we rarely comprehend. Neurological mapping reveals something extraordinary. Prolonged uncertainty triggers intricate adaptive mechanisms within our psychological architecture. When traditional problem-solving strategies falter, our neural networks begin experimenting with unprecedented connectivity patterns. We're not merely surviving challenging intervals. We're fundamentally rewiring our perceptual frameworks. Professional resilience experts recognize this sophisticated dance. Top-tier performers across disciplines, from theoretical physicists to championship athletes, share a remarkable capacity for maintaining centered focus during ambiguous scenarios. They've cultivated an advanced skill, transforming uncertainty from a threat into a generative landscape of potential. Interpersonal dynamics offer another fascinating lens. Relationships characterized by nuanced understanding frequently demonstrate deeper, transformative power than those demanding instantaneous clarity. When we suspend reactive impulses, we create intricate pathways for more profound comprehension to unfold organically. Indigenous wisdom traditions have long understood this principle. They perceive time not as linear progression, but as a complex, multidimensional fabric where past, present, and potential futures interweave continuously. Waiting becomes less about passive endurance and more about active receptivity, a dynamic engagement with unfolding mysteries. Technological innovation provides compelling parallels. Groundbreaking discoveries rarely follow predictable trajectories. Instead, they emerge through unexpected intersections, exploratory patience, and a willingness to inhabit uncomfortable liminal spaces between known and unknown. My work has consistently demonstrated that our most profound personal evolutions happen invisibly, like underground river systems slowly reshaping geological landscapes. We're constantly preparing, even when external circumstances appear unchanged. The key lies in developing sophisticated emotional agility, a capacity to hold complexity without immediate resolution. The invitation becomes clear. Are you willing to develop psychological musculature capable of navigating intricate emotional terrains with unprecedented grace? Your most revolutionary breakthroughs might be quietly taking shape beneath surface perceptions, waiting for the precise moment of manifestation. I've walked through countless deserts of uncertainty, but nothing prepared me for the profound landscape of strategic patience. My professional research into human resilience reveals a counterintuitive truth. Breakthrough moments often germinate in seemingly barren emotional territories. Psychological mapping demonstrates that prolonged waiting activates extraordinary neurological adaptations. When traditional coping mechanisms falter, our cognitive architecture begins experimenting with radical connectivity patterns. We're not merely surviving challenging intervals. We're fundamentally restructuring internal perception frameworks. Precision matters in this delicate transformation. Think of emotional adaptation like advanced technological calibration. Minute adjustments create exponential performance shifts. Professional athletes understand this principle intuitively. Peak performance emerges through strategic recalibration, not constant exertion. Quantum field theories provide fascinating metaphorical insights. Potential states coexist dynamically, awaiting precise activation conditions. Personal development mirrors these subatomic interactions. Complex potentialities hover within our consciousness, waiting for nuanced activation triggers. Interpersonal dynamics reveal another fascinating dimension. Relationships characterized by sophisticated understanding demonstrate deeper, transformative power than those demanding instantaneous clarity. When we suspend reactive impulses, intricate pathways for profound comprehension spontaneously unfold. Technological innovation parallels this sophisticated process. Groundbreaking discoveries rarely follow predictable trajectories. Instead, they materialize through exploratory patience, unexpected connections, and willingness to inhabit uncomfortable liminal spaces between known and unknown paradigms. Neuroscientific research illuminates something extraordinary. Prolonged uncertainty triggers intricate adaptive mechanisms within psychological infrastructures. When traditional problem-solving strategies become ineffective, neural networks begin experimenting with unprecedented connectivity configurations. My decades of research consistently demonstrate that profound personal evolutions happen invisibly, like tectonic plates slowly reshaping geological landscapes. We're constantly preparing, even when external circumstances appear static. The critical skill lies in developing emotional agility, a capacity to hold complexity without demanding immediate resolution. Critically, this approach transcends passive resignation. It demands dynamic, alert presence, and engagement simultaneously preparing and remaining fundamentally receptive. We're cultivating sophisticated psychological musculature capable of navigating intricate emotional terrains with unprecedented grace. The invitation becomes clear. Are you prepared to develop psychological resilience that transforms uncertainty from a threat into a generative landscape of potential? Your most revolutionary breakthroughs might be quietly taking shape within your internal ecosystem, awaiting precise manifestation conditions. As I pause and reflect on the intricate landscape we've traversed together, something profound crystallizes, a deeper understanding that transcends mere intellectual comprehension. Our exploration isn't about accumulating knowledge, but about experiencing a fundamental transformation of perspective. The human experience of waiting reveals itself as an intricate choreography, where seemingly static moments pulse with profound potential. We're not merely passive recipients of time, but active architects of our internal growth. Each moment of uncertainty becomes a delicate crucible, silently reshaping our neural pathways, emotional resilience, and spiritual understanding. What initially appears as stagnation is actually an elaborate process of internal recalibration. Like sophisticated quantum systems, our consciousness continuously adapts, reformulates, and realigns, often imperceptibly. The magic happens not in grand, dramatic revelations, but in the nuanced, microscopic shifts occurring beneath conscious awareness. I've come to recognize waiting as an advanced form of spiritual and psychological technology. It's a precision instrument for personal development, far more complex than our culturally conditioned impulse for immediate gratification might suggest. We're learning to navigate complexity with a grace that transcends linear thinking, embracing a more holistic, interconnected understanding of personal evolution. Our journey reveals an elegant truth. Transformation is rarely a thunderous event, but more often a gentle, persistent whisper. It's about cultivating an internal landscape so resilient, so fundamentally receptive, that challenges become opportunities for profound growth. We're developing a sophisticated emotional intelligence that views uncertainty not as a threat, but as a generative space of unlimited potential. Reflecting on this intricate terrain, I'm struck by how our individual narratives interconnect, each story a unique thread in a vast, complex tapestry of human experience. We're not isolated beings struggling in disconnected silos, but participants in an intricate, dynamic system of collective becoming. The boundary between waiting and becoming blurs, revealing itself as a false dichotomy. Every moment of perceived pause is actually a moment of subtle, powerful preparation. We're constantly in motion, even when external circumstances suggest stillness. Our internal ecosystems dynamically recalibrating, expanding, evolving. As we stand at this pivotal juncture, something extraordinary emerges, a recognition that our most significant transformations occur not through forceful intervention, but through patient, attentive presence. We're learning to trust a more sophisticated rhythm, one that honors the delicate, often invisible processes of personal and collective growth. The landscape ahead beckons with a promise of unprecedented discovery, not of external conquests, but of our own remarkable capacity for resilience, adaptation, and profound understanding. As the desert winds whisper their ancient secrets, I'm struck by a profound realization that transcends our individual struggles. Waiting isn't a passive experience. It's a transformative journey of the human spirit, a delicate dance between human vulnerability and divine timing. Our cultural narratives often frame waiting as a weakness, a period of stagnation. But what if we could reimagine this space as a profound crucible of personal metamorphosis? What if each moment of uncertainty contains hidden seeds of extraordinary potential? I've witnessed how life's most challenging intervals frequently become our most significant teachers. The spaces between promise and fulfillment aren't empty. They're pregnant with possibility. Our deepest growth happens in these liminal moments, where faith is refined and character is forged through patient resilience. Imagine our internal landscape as a sophisticated ecosystem. Just as natural environments require intricate balance and interconnected systems, our spiritual and emotional terrains thrive through nuanced, holistic approaches. Forced acceleration produces artificial outcomes. Authentic transformation demands intentional, attentive cultivation. The human heart contains remarkable reservoirs of strength most never explore. We're constantly evolving, even when external circumstances suggest stillness. Our capacity for adaptation represents a sophisticated form of spiritual intelligence, a dynamic engagement that simultaneously prepares and remains fundamentally open. This journey isn't about controlling outcomes, but developing a radical trust that transcends immediate perceptions. We're learning to hold complexity without demanding immediate clarity, to create internal spaciousness where seemingly impossible promises can germinate. As I reflect on these intricate landscapes of human experience, I recognize a deeper truth. Our most significant breakthroughs frequently emerge from our most vulnerable moments. The boundary between waiting and becoming dissolves, revealing itself as an intricate dance of potential and preparation. We stand at a remarkable threshold, not of limitation, but of unprecedented possibility. Our challenges aren't obstacles. They're invitations to develop a more sophisticated relationship with uncertainty. Each moment of tension becomes an opportunity for profound spiritual and emotional recalibration. The path forward requires courage. Not the loud, aggressive courage of conquest, but a quiet, persistent courage of trust. A willingness to remain open, to cultivate patience, to believe that something magnificent is taking shape beyond our immediate perception. In this moment, I invite you to embrace a different narrative. See your waiting not as a burden, but as a sacred space of transformation. Your most significant growth might be happening in the quietest, most unassuming corners of your experience. A silent, powerful regeneration that will ultimately reshape your entire landscape. Trust the process. Your story isn't finished. It's continuously unfolding.